Ahead of today's hearing, the January 6th Select Committee released new video that shows Republican Congressman Barry Loudermilk giving a tour of the Capitol complex the day before the attack. Among those taking part in the congressman's tour, a man who the committee says was filmed making verbal threats against top Democratic lawmakers on the day of the insurrection. Take a look.
It has begun here at the Washington Monument, Washington, D.C. Say hello to Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, man? Glad to be here, bro.
This is our fearless leader.
Hey, baby.
Danny Hamilton.
Check out my flag I made, guys. See it? There you go, baby. That's for a certain person.
That's right. That's for somebody special. Somebody special. All right. We are basically at the Capitol with probably close to 2 million true American patriots. They are swarming and converging, mainly from Constitution Avenue, but from all routes in. There's no escape, Pelosi, Schumer, Nadler. We're coming for you. We're coming in like white on rice for Pelosi, Nadler, Schumer, even you, AOC. We're coming to take you out. We'll pull you out by your hairs. How about that, Pelosi? Might as well make yourself another appointment. I'll get done with you. You're going to need a shine up on top of that bald head.
The video, stunning, goes on to show the surveillance footage of Congressman Loudermilk. You're seeing it here, giving his tour. Some individuals can be seen taking photos of staircases, tunnels, and security checkpoints that are used daily by lawmakers and their staff. Congressman Loudermilk initially denied giving a tour at all on January 5th. But in a statement last month, he conceded that he had brought constituents into parts of the Capitol complex and called the visit harmless. He was asked about this new footage yesterday.
Do you know who that man was in the video?
I don't know him. I'd never met him before.
But he was on that tour with you?
I don't know. I never saw the guy on the video.
In the video, it clearly shows an individual taking photos of a security checkpoint in the basement that leads to the Capitol.
What they were taking a picture of is I took the family, and of course the other folks were with them, have 2 young kids that wanted to see the little trains that take congressmen. So I took them to show them where the trolley was in the Rayburn Tunnel.
But why do you think pictures were being taken of the stairwell, around security?
If you go to that stairwell, there's a golden eagle sconce that's on the wall. That's what I was taking a picture of. I mean, these are folks who had never been to Washington, D.C., and they were excited.
Why not just speak to the committee and just...
Because the committee's never called me and asked me anything.
They sent a letter asking for your
voluntary
cooperation.
They never sent it to me.
Joining us now, congressional reporter for The Guardian, Hugo Lowell, who's been all over the January 6th hearings. Hugo, let's start there with Congressman Loudermilk. And backing up a step, just to say, this is what Democratic lawmakers had said they were fearful of. Congressman Ocasio-Cortez said she believed she was being individually targeted on January 6th. Law enforcement officials told me in the aftermath of the insurrection, their great fear was that some Democratic lawmaker could be injured or executed on a live stream if the rioters had found them. What sort of role is this footage going to play in the hearings? What new questions does it raise?
It's not clear how the footage is going to play into the hearings, but, you know, while the hearings are still going on, this January 6th Select Committee is still continuing its investigation. So insofar as that continues, I think it's going to loom large in the minds of House investigators that are still trying to untangle exactly what happened and whether Republican lawmakers were connected in any way to the Capitol attack. I think the man in question here is quite interesting because the identity of the man is known to us, and it's also known to NBC as far as I'm aware. We're withholding the identity of the man to protect the integrity of the investigation. But that man left his point of origin on January 4th, took a bus to D.C. over the course of January 4th and then got to D.C. in the evening of January 4, maybe in the early hours of January 5, proceeded to take this tour around 1 p.m. on January 5, and then the next day he was at the base of the Capitol marching with thousands upon thousands of Trump supporters descending onto the Capitol. So this man came to D.C. specifically to take part in the Ellipse rally on January 6th, which Trump was hoping would stop the certification of Joe Biden's victory. So when we play and we think about what the man was doing on the 6th, and then we look back at what he was doing on the 5th, taking photos of stairwells and security checkpoints, it does make us look at that tour in a different light.
Hugo, to underscore the importance of your answer, we're actually watching some lightning flash over your shoulder as you're talking. Glad you're inside. Tell us, though, about today. We heard previewed earlier in the show that today's hearing is going to be predominantly focused on the pressure campaign from former President Trump to then Vice President Pence. It starts at 1 o'clock today. MSNBC will have complete coverage. Preview for viewers, what sort of things we're going to hear?
Well, it's going to be all about Trump's pressure campaign on Pence and how he was trying to get his vice president to overturn the results of the election, right? And a lot of this centers on this one man, John Eastman, the external Trump legal advisor, really a college professor who got drafted in to help the campaign since Trump decided that his own campaign staff and his own White House counsel weren't doing enough to go after election fraud and to find alternative ways to return him to the presidency. And at issue are these 2 points. First of all, that Eastman wanted to use these alternate slates of electors that had not been certified and did not exist as the basis for Pence to refuse to count the votes for Biden at the certification on January 6th. And this is really interesting to me, at least, because Eastman has admitted in emails that have since come out in court filings that he knew that the entire plan, the entire scheme rested on there being genuinely certified alternate slates of electors for Trump. By the time he got to January 2nd, January 3rd, and he was starting to meet with Trump and Pence, he knew that the states had not certified those alternate slates of electors. And he knew full well that he needed that to happen for his plan to have any basis in legality. As it turns out, it was completely unlawful anyway, and he admitted that in subsequent emails. But then he was pressuring Pence to effectively throw out the results of the entire election based on states of electors that didn't exist. So you have all sorts of corrupt intent, all sorts of really problematic legal analysis, and I think Judge Luttig, who is testifying today, is expected to say at the hearing that the legal analysis was completely wrong and the entire plan was nonsense. So that's what's in store for us later today.